go with some wood. So what I've got here is just some wood that I've collected. I've got my wood chips over here that were donated. And then I've got cow patties. These are dehydrated cow patties, cow manure. I've got the bag of that. And then I've got some sawdust as well here that I'm going to put down. I've got potting soil, I've got my water, I've got some seeds, and I've also got kind of this like light brush that's going to break down probably quicker than the wood chips. And for my seeds, I've been saving seeds for years from fruit and vegetables, which I purchased, as well as plants that I grew that I let go to seed. So I'm going to probably plant some tomatoes, peppers, things of that nature that'll do good in the heat. But then I'm also going to do a cover crop of some alfalfa seeds on the bottom, just to get some green around the base and also to develop a root system. It's really going to kind of hold that soil down. And then also alfalfa is edible. Okay, so thanks for joining. I'm going to try to set this up so you can see what I'm doing. I don't have a tripod here with me. I hope that's good. First thing I'm going to do is probably till up the land just a little bit with the rake, not very much, but just so when the roots develop down there, it can kind of penetrate the land a little bit easier, although it's pretty soft. To make sure you guys can see, there I'm looking at, it looks pretty good. So just getting at some of these weeds. Just to save battery on my phone and to make sure my phone does not overheat, I'm just going to do one example bed for you. There we go. Some of those weeds out the way. Cool. So got that. Now what I'm going to do is add some of the sticks, like the native wood that I got. And it's great. This is juniper wood, I believe. And it's got a lot of holes in it. So that should break down pretty nice. And I'm just going to kind of do like a lasagna effect. I'm going to add the wood, sawdust, wood chips, soil, manure, sand. Oh, and you know what else? I'm going to grab some blood meal. 1 second. Okay, so this is blood meal. I talked about this in another video. And I watched this channel, I think it's called Hollis and Nancy, and they're down in Florida. They're a great homestead couple. They believe in God and they work hard. They're great people. They also started, with a regular house and then expanded and followed their dreams, but I got that blood meal idea from them. So shout out to Hollis and Nancy, they're great. They also plant fish in the ground when they plant, and add some, I think it's garden lime. You can also use feather meal and bone meal. But just because I'm on a budget, I was like, if I could get one thing, it's gonna be blood meal. So I got that as well. So I'm going to add some of that in the ground. And it's this nice, dark, rich, nitrogen-rich material fertilizer. So again, I'm just going to stack up this wood. I got my shovel. I'm going to put down some of the native soil, especially on the edges. I'm going to seal things in. smell amazing. What a blessing this was today. I really needed, I got wood, but I need to build this up really nicely. So I got that. Then I'm going to add some of the garden soil. Some sawdust. And then I'm going to add some of this blood meal. Just going to sprinkle it around. This is the first time I'm using this. So yeah. I think a woman named Homestead Heart, like her page, that's not her name, that's like her page. I think she uses blood meal and bone meal and feather meal too. And has had great success. And I think she's based in Georgia. So I'm going to spread this around. Alright, and now I'm going to do another layer, just like the last one. Oh, you know what? I need to add the manure, sorry. So here's my dehydrated cow patties. Here. This is what they look like. I'm going to break them down and put them on here. Ooh, they're really compacted. So, going to break it up. And then you'll add water. I don't have as much water yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and break these up by hand, and then I'll water everything. But I don't know if some people will rehydrate them first, you know, like put all the patties in a pile and then add water. I don't know. I'm not sure how people do that, but this is how I'm doing it. And that's the thing, is like, you can watch everybody on YouTube, but you still do it your own way. Add your own flavor to it based on your style of farming, based on the resources you may or may not have. So this is really, really minimalist. There we go. And so now I'm going to go ahead and start another layer, starting with the local wood. And you gotta be careful. There's lots of thorns. Some sort of thorny basin grows on the juniper there, like the bark. Oh, shoot, you just gotta be careful. I'm just gonna put that whole one in there. It's too thorny. I have an axe, so I could probably axe it, but it's fine. Just trying to make sure all the wood stays in the bed, though. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I will show you one thing. Don't break a stick this way. Don't do that, because you can like break it into your chest. Take your sticks. You know, you can put it against something as leverage, but just step on it away from your body, because you don't want to hurt yourself. And that's an easy way to do that. Even if you don't just stab yourself, you know, cutting yourself off grid at all is dangerous. The stuff can get in it. There's sand and everything flying around, manure. So just be careful when you're out here. Take your time. Be conscious of everything from where you're standing, everything, because you can step on something that bites you, goes through your shoe, etc. So yeah, that's just another piece of advice. So now I've got the wood kind of coming to the center. I'm going to add some more of this soil, the local soil. And then after I have this layer, I'll probably add some water. Just really make sure you close in all the gaps. I just don't want like rodents having too easy access. I'll probably put like a little fence up around here. I have a garden bed that's fenced in area that I have my chicken coop in. But I need to finish my shed first and whatnot so I can at least put my tent in the shed area. And I'm thinking I'm going to build a tiny house as well. So we'll see how that all goes. I hope you guys can hear me okay. The wind is blowing, so I'm sure that adds some disturbance here and there. Okay, got that. Soil. We do some wood chips. Now I'm going to add some potting soil. And I'm trying to make it almost like a pyramid. Okay, got that down. Now I'm going to add some more sawdust. That's so beautiful, and it smells amazing. I can't believe he donated that to me. It's also good to take breaks. Make sure you got water. Water in a face rag. Make sure you stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. So I got the sawdust down. Excuse me. Now I'm going to put down some manure. Make sure you wear gloves when working with manure. Even if it's dehydrated, it's still poopy. You don't want to get E. coli or whatever germs. Though I'm sure it's pretty sterile, you know? I don't know much about cow poop other than it makes plants grow and it makes your food delicious. But it's all about that, you know, Mother Nature cycle. God made everything just the way it should, and there's no waste. So with the Hugëlkultur bed, a lot of you guys might have seen me on Frugal Off-Grid's page, and that's how I actually found him, was because I was looking up how to do a Hugëlkultur bed. And so he was one of the only people I saw that did the Hugëlkultur beds. And especially being in the same terrain and environment and climate, geography that I'm working with, it's extremely helpful. Yeah. Trying to think of any other people. I watch John Plant of Primitive Technologies. He's fantastic. Chad Zuber. He has a similar page, but the difference between Chad Zuber and John Plant, Chad Zuber's page is called Primitive Tendencies. He does primitive survival skills just as John Plant does, but John Plant is in one environment. Chad Zuber goes to a myriad of environments all over the world. So that's very helpful if you're trying to learn about different things. I learned about making bricks, the soap plant, the Palo Verde trees, juniper trees, just all sorts of things. How to make juice from cactus fruit, using juniper berries, so many things that were very helpful. So those are some other pages you can check out too if you want a variety of information, how to be self-sustainable on a very minimal basis. Chad travels the world and is, I don't know what he brings with him, but it doesn't seem like much. So that's very helpful. And John Plant, he didn't even have a knife. He actually took a stone and just beat it, and that's how he got his sharp edge, and just used that to build things. So it was amazing to watch them. But in any case, I'm gonna get back to the bed. I need to stop putting my hands near my face. I got the manure on there. Okay, so manure, oh, and blood meal. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more soil and sand, and I'm gonna give some water just because I don't want to blow away the blood meal there. Usually put this on with my hands, it's fine. Okay, now I'm gonna add some of this. Just a sprinkle of this because it does kind of deter water absorption in a way, but it holds everything together nicely so it doesn't just fly away. So there. And what I've done is I've got a gallon jug of water and I just poked holes in it, so that way it's almost like a garden waterer. Again, if you're on a budget, you don't have to have everything you think. You're like, oh, I need a waterer, you know, just make one. I learned this skill from a man, his page is named Urban Gardener, or Urban Gardening, I think it's Urban Gardener, and he's in India. So again, hot climate just like this, and he does so many things. So I saw that he took a hot metal poker and poked it through the top. I didn't have anything that worked. I tried burning a fork to poke holes, it didn't do anything. So I just took scissors and poked holes all around. So again, if you're watching YouTube, getting that, the quote, YouTube at University education, tailor things to what you have, what resources you have access to, and what your climate is, etc. You know, just get that knowledge base, and just like an artist goes to art school and then they make art their own, and they've learned the foundations of different areas, kind of like that. So see, it pours out like all different holes and gets that whole bed watered. Still not as great as the other guys, but it's cool. You got a little gardening thing, water. And then I'll recycle this, cut the top off too, and then I can use it as a planter. Okay, so got that. And then I'm gonna just add a little bit more. Oh, you know what I didn't use? I didn't use much of this, so I think this would be a good time to add some of that brush that's gonna break down quickly for the top. It's a little bit more moldable for the top layer, so that'll be good. Instead of using the hardwood. I think there's no accidents, you know? Just like in artwork, my art teacher, Miss Oken, in the 3rd grade, first week of school, she cut all the erasers off of our new pencils. She said there's no mistakes in art. You know, it's kind of like gardening. Even if you make a, quote, mistake, you learn from it, and then sometimes it winds up, the mistake is better than your original plan. So I think this mistake is better than my original plan, honestly. So I'm just breaking it up, putting it down. See, we have a nice pyramid shape forming. Gonna add some wood chips. Let me get my shovel. Get another swig of water. I'm probably talking too much. A lot of the people I watch, they don't even talk a lot, but like Chad Zuber and John Plant, they don't even speak. But I hope the commentary is helpful also. Okay, wood chips. just to get this down really good so it doesn't fly away on me. Wood chips is probably a great option because this is really thin bush wood. So, okay, got that. That's the sawdust. I'm gonna get the sides here. It's kind of like icing a cake, you know? Just making sure you're covering everything. Or maybe even like making a meatloaf where you put the ketchup on the sides. At least I do. Okay. There we go. Just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more manure. Not too much on the top. I don't want to mess up the shape. But just crumbling it, you know. Just a little bit more. Just on the sides. That one is going to come there. Maybe fancy gaps. Okay. Put down some blood meal. And then a little bit more of that swill. Sides here. And some more common soil. Oh, need to be careful. I might need to switch that front log out. Alright, there we go. And then I'm going to add the local soil, add my seeds, and then add some more potting soil and local soil on top of the seeds. Probably need to go run and get, well, I can use my drinking water there, it's fine. Just for an example bed. We're going to fill in these holes down here at the base. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to add some seeds. Take another swig of my water, pace myself. So, I could label them, but I think I'm just going to sprinkle some stuff down on this first bed and see what happens. Then the next ones, I've got 2 more little beds lined out. I might do a little bit more organized, but I was going to have fun with this one. At home, I used to like label everything, and we got all this land, so let's just plant. There's a guy named David the Good, and I think he calls it grocery store gardening. And one of his skills was saying, just for survivalists, he's like, if you walk up on my garden, say it's an intruder, say it's a time of crisis, and people are trying to rob you, he's like, in his garden, it just looks like a bunch of stuff. He's like, you're not going to roll up and you see a whole field of corn and it's easy to take. He's like, have a bunch of exotic plants, have it all mixed in. You got your top layer, middle layer, bottom layer, and it's just like a grocery store. You got everything mixed in. Just like, I want some zucchini, I want some tomatoes, and you know what you've planted. You know, as far as seeds, maybe not exactly where until it starts sprouting and blossoming, but it's a good way to deter intruders, robbers or whatever. You know, we are in kind of unprecedented times where inflation is causing people to do things to survive, and a lot of people, their instinct is to do things like this, grow your own food. But other people in a negative light will take advantage or steal, crime increases, things of that nature that we've all seen happening. So any case, I'm going to get my seeds down, probably put down some water, and then I'm going to cover that as well. So I'm going to pour some of my drinking water in here just to get that top layer wet. I really could probably go get another jug of this hot water, but just for time's sake, because my phone does get hot out here and I want to share this, I'm going to go ahead and use just a little bit of my drinking water to water the garden. So I'm going to put down my cover crop first, which again is going to be some alfalfa. So I'm just going to put it everywhere. Put all alfalfa everywhere. Okay? Again, that root system's going to form. You know, you can eat it, but it's also going to break down and build up your soil. And that's another thing I learned from David Good. He's a great person to watch. Also, like Tommy Bites Homestead. So, anyways, here are red peppers. I saved these, dehydrated them, dried them out. So this is what just regular bell peppers. So if there's no seeds for sale, just save your, you know, your bell pepper tops, whatever. Save your seeds that you have from grocery store produce. I'm even going to just break down the pepper itself and put it over there. Because, you know, we have all this fertilizer, but I think some of the best fertilizer you could do is just working with God and Mother Nature and putting down the fruit and vegetable that the seed came from. Because, I mean, that's the natural way of things. The fruit or vegetable falls, the seed utilizes that pulp and the fruit and vegetable as it breaks down to grow from, right? So having just some of the plant saved with the seeds, I like to do. So I'll just crumble this up and it'll go right with the seeds. So whatever nutrients it's supposed to have based on nature, it will get that way. That's my thinking. And then as you grow, continue to add supplemental seeds. So as I go to the store, or like I bought bell peppers, I'm going to take those scraps and put the tops right over here, you know, just keep adding. And then even if you get a ton of plants that sprout, transplant them to other parts of your garden. These Hugëlkultur beds can just be seed starting areas, or I can do part like seed starting for peppers and then pick them and then let some of them grow full. So you have options. So we're going to put lots of peppers. So I'm going to use a whole jar of peppers. We got the alfalfa. And I did the whole jar of peppers. I have lots of jars of peppers. Got spaghetti squash, tomatoes. Let's see. I don't know if I want those tomatoes. I got a lot of tomatoes. I don't know what these are. Bell peppers. No bell peppers. Pumpkin. Strawberries. Cantaloupe. I don't know which cantaloupe. I got these that are not organic and these that are organic. I'll put a mixture of both, inorganic, organic, whatever. And I don't know if this one was organic. This one I can tell was from a fruit that I harvested, so I just don't know if I had bought an organic one that time or not. But I know these are organic because I purchased them. I might put the organic ones on this side. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. You could be a stickler. I guess everybody's different. I mean, you could probably poke some of these into the soil just so they don't fly away so easily. Put a couple more down. I'll put a lot of these down. And just poke them in. Poke some of the more, like if you purchase the seeds, you know, you might want to be more, you know, hesitant about using all of them at a time. But for the ones I saved myself, it's whatever. Here's some chili peppers. These are really exotic chili peppers. They come in these pods. I'm just going to crush these and add some in the back. These were a gift. Butternut squash. Again, I just saved seeds. These are actually cannabis jars from the West Coast. I just saved them. Something was telling me, just save your jars, save your seeds for 3 years. And here we are. Okay, so I got all those down. I might put just a little bit more blood meal, just a little sprinkle. Again, I don't know if that's right or wrong. This is my first time using it. So, might actually be a mistake, I don't know. And I'm sorry, my screen is like completely dark because of how bright it is. So I hope you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. I'm going to add some more of this cotton foil. Maybe just a little bit more of that. And I'll add just a little bit more of the native soil, just so it doesn't fly away. Very lightly, because I don't want to cover up my seeds too much, but I also don't want them flying away. So, there you go. Again, I'm going to fill in those last holes on the side here. Okay, now I'm going to add some water. And I've got gallons more water over there. I'm gonna add probably 2 more gallons of water, but just because I don't want these seeds to fly away and my phone's probably getting overheated, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. But I just want you to see full circle, what have you. And you can also, like I said, put you some little labels in here. Thinking about it, this is a YouTube video. If I want to know what I planted, I'll just go back to the video. I can label it later. But like I said, I'm having fun. So thank you guys for joining. I hope that you learned something. I learned so many things for you guys. I'm getting my Amazon wish list set up, so there were some people that offered to send some stuff, so I just didn't have an address because I'm like 9 hours away from my apartment, and I can't even afford to get back there right now. So, because it's going to cost me like $300 just to get there and back. So I'm working on my homestead. And then I'm going to do some more work because I'm a model. I know it's wild right now, but I do model, get the money to go back to my place, pick up more resources. But in the meantime, my farmer friend that donated all of the sawdust, wood chips, canned food, and some farm fresh eggs, he said that I can use his address down the way. And then I can also use his rechargeable drill next week, so I'm going to work on my shed. Thank you guys so much. Sometimes I do have hard days. You know, I pray just and keep myself, you know, in a good foundation, spiritually, physically, try to stay healthy out here. But some days it does get hard, and so when I see these comments, it really does brighten my day, and it makes me really excited. And I know, just like a month ago, I was sitting at my apartment watching everybody out here doing this. Like, this has really been my life dream. I put on my vision board this year that I wanted to farm. I put it on my board last year I wanted to farm, and I had a bunch of obstacles happen. My rent kept going up. I can't afford it to live there anymore, and just a bunch of other things that are beyond my control. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there experiencing this as well. You know, I've just got to take my time, transition over, have faith. I picked this property not just because of the property. I picked this property because I met people when I came here. I actually met this farmer before I came here. And I was like, this is a nice person. You know, at least I'll know somebody if I do choose this plot of land that I can ask advice. I didn't have in mind that he was going to help me or anybody was going to help me. I educated myself with other people, like their YouTube channels, and books, tons of books. I brought my books with me, and I'm going to be reading some of these chapters on fruits and vegetables and herbs and healing and growing. But like I said, it wasn't my intention, but I think that if you choose land, like all that being said, I think if you choose land, choose it because of the land, the affordability, all those things, but also because of the community, because of the people there. Because if things are getting bad as far as the economy, society, I mean, I'm not a layman. I have a master's degree. I've backpacked Europe by myself. I've done so many things, but the times we are in are very much unprecedented. And so I think a lot of people are waking up and they're like, we got to take care of ourselves. You know, if a crisis happened, power went out. Because I've got messages back in Nevada where they were talking about energy problems and things of that nature. Like from the city, they'll send a message saying that they want to have like this shut off this time, etc. It's kind of some weird stuff. Also at the grocery stores, there's no baby formula. You know, you got to think, mothers can't feed their kids. You know, what trajectory is that going to go on? It could be okay, but I know personally, with inflation, with prices going up, I need to make it more affordable for myself to take care of me and my animals, and also maybe one day take care of others that I know, just like this farmer's helping me. Maybe I can help others, and maybe even by these YouTube videos, I'm helping out, inspiring others. But in any case, I'm going to cut the video now. Thank you, God. Thank you, guys. And have a great day. You can do it. Keep working. Keep praying. Take care of yourself. Take care of others where you can. All right, bye.